She never saw it coming. The click of a door closing. The muffled voices outside her office. Every nerve screamed for her to run, but it was too late. Her heart raced, but not from the phone. From the man she trusted. The man she thought she could trust. The millionaire tech mogul who promised safety, but instead handed her a ticking time bomb. And now, he's gone too far. We know everything, and it's not just your past we're after. What she didn't know was that her past, and his, were about to collide in a way that no one could escape. This is only the beginning. You won't believe what happens next. If you're ready to uncover the secrets buried in this dangerous world, make sure to hit that subscribe button, because you won't want to miss a single twist. Let us know where you're watching from in the comments, and tell us, if you were Erica, what would you do in her shoes? Stay tuned. We're about to dive deeper into a world of betrayal and danger you can't escape. You've been running, Erica, but you're not as far as you think. The city hums below her, 1,000 lights blinking like distant stars, each one holding a secret. Erica Weston stands in the penthouse, the glass walls offering a stunning view of New York's skyline. But the view holds no comfort. Her pulse thuds in her ears, drowning out the low murmur of voices from the gala outside. The weight of her own thoughts presses in, as heavy as the gold-trimmed chandelier above. She grips the edge of the table, her fingers trembling, not from the chill of the marble, but from the knot tightening in her chest. Not from the city, the party, or even the strangers outside. It's the man standing behind her. Jackson Knight. He's watching her. She can feel his eyes like heat on her back. She'd known this moment would come. At 29, Erica had perfected the art of survival. Always hiding, always just out of reach. A woman in control, always in control. But tonight, something was slipping through her fingers. Tonight, the walls she'd built might come crashing down. She turns, expecting nothing more than the usual polite smile, the cool handshakes of the rich and powerful. But Jackson isn't smiling. He's standing too close, his expression unreadable, his dark eyes narrowing as if seeing through her, past her, to the secrets she's buried. "You don't belong here," he says softly. But it's not an accusation. It's a statement. And for a moment, Erica freezes. Her breath catches. The words taste like ash in her mouth. But she smiles. The kind of smile you show when the world feels like it's slipping away, when you want to look like you have everything under control. "You're mistaken," she says, the words coming out colder than she intended. "I'm exactly where I need to be." The silence stretches between them, thick and suffocating. She feels the weight of his gaze, sharp and unrelenting. The tension hums through her veins, a nervous energy that rises and swells. But she doesn't break. She won't. "Do you think you can outrun your past forever?" he asks, voice low, controlled. She can't read him. Not yet. But she can feel the truth in his words. She has been running. "I'm not running," she says, her voice steady despite the churn of panic in her chest. "I'm right where I want to be." But even as she says it, she knows the lie feels hollow. And then, just like that, the door behind them opens and the noise from the party floods the room. Laughter, clinking glasses, and the muffled music playing far below. It's the kind of party where no one asks questions, where masks are worn but never lifted, where secrets are kept in plain sight, and everyone plays their part. Jackson doesn't look away. He steps forward, closing the space between them, his voice barely above a whisper. "You can pretend all you want, but I know exactly who you are, Erica, and sooner or later you'll have to face it." She stiffens, her breath shallow. No one should know that. For a moment, the room feels too small, the air too tight. And in that silence, a question lingers, unspoken, but loud enough to echo in her ears. Who is she really? The weight of it crushes her. She clears her throat, trying to regain control. But Jackson's next words stop her dead in her tracks. "You're not safe here, and neither am I." And then, before she can process it, He's gone, disappearing into the crowd of the gala outside. But Erica stands frozen, her heartbeat a deafening drum in her chest. Everything has changed, and she doesn't know how to stop it. The city never sleeps, and neither does Erica. Not tonight, not when Jackson's words are still circling her mind, wrapping tighter around her thoughts with every passing second. She sits in her sleek, minimalistic apartment, but the luxurious surroundings do nothing to calm the storm inside her. The soft hum of the fridge, the distant sounds of traffic below. It all feels so distant. Everything feels distant. She sets her phone on the coffee table, the glow of the screen illuminating her fingers as she tries to steady her breath. The red dot from the gala flashes in her mind. It was a warning. Her body remembers the cold sensation it left on her skin, the threat it carried. But even that didn't seem as ominous as Jackson's words. "You're not safe here." Erica's eyes scan the room. But there's no danger here. No hidden threat in the dark corners. She's made sure of that. The walls are thick, the locks strong. But it's not the physical safety she fears. It's something deeper. The kind of fear that twists in the pit of your stomach and whispers at the edges of your mind. A fear that feels like betrayal, and she doesn't know who the betrayer is. The phone buzzes again. She grabs it without thinking, her heart skipping a beat when she sees the name on the screen. Jackson Knight. She hesitates. Every instinct in her tells her to ignore it, to keep her distance, like she always has. But something inside her pulls her in. There's no pretending anymore. Not after what happened at the gala. She takes a breath and answers. "Erica." Jackson's voice is smooth, controlled, but there's an underlying tension there, just below the surface. "I need to talk to you." She sits up straighter, suddenly aware of how alone she is. Alone with this man, with these words that seem to slice through her defenses. "I'm listening," she replies, her voice betraying a flicker of unease. "Meet me at the office. We need to discuss your future here," he says, as if he's already decided what that future is, what part she'll play in his world. "I'm not your employee, Jackson," she says, biting back the urge to hang up. "We're not friends." She's not sure why she says it. Maybe it's to remind herself more than him. But Jackson doesn't flinch. Instead, there's a pause, a calculated silence. "I know," he says finally. "That's exactly why you need to be there. Tonight." The line goes dead. Erica stares at the phone in her hand, her mind racing. Why tonight? What's he trying to pull? She's not a fool. Jackson isn't some business partner offering her a deal. His world is more dangerous than that. His world is tangled with things she's spent years running from. A few hours later, the elevator doors open, and Erica steps into the lobby of Jackson's sleek corporate headquarters. The lobby is empty at this late hour, the low hum of the building's energy systems the only sound as she walks across the polished marble floor. The only light is the soft glow of overheads that reflect off the mirrored surfaces. She doesn't belong here. Not really. The receptionist is long gone, and the security guard looks up from his desk, giving her a brief, indifferent nod. She doesn't acknowledge him. She doesn't need to. She's been in this building 100 times, but tonight it feels different. There's a weight here, a heaviness that has nothing to do with the building itself. As she steps into the elevator, the doors closing behind her with a soft ding, she glances at her reflection. The woman staring back at her is the same. She looks the same. But she isn't. Not anymore. The elevator rises quickly, and the tension tightens in her chest. Each floor she ascends, she feels like she's falling further into a trap she's too afraid to escape. When the doors open, Jackson is waiting. His back is turned to her, his hands behind his back, as if he's lost in thought. His office is vast and modern, the city sprawling below them. But the view isn't what catches her attention. It's the darkness in his posture, the way his shoulders seem heavier tonight. He doesn't turn when she enters. Instead, he gestures toward the chair across from his desk without a word. She sits. The silence stretches between them, thick and unrelenting. Finally, Jackson speaks, his voice low and steady. "I know who you are, Erica. I know more than you think." She tenses, but she won't give him the satisfaction of flinching. "You think you've escaped it," he continues, walking around the desk to face her. "You think you can bury your past, hide behind a perfect image. But I see through it. All of it." Her eyes narrow, her pulse quickening. "What are you talking about?" Jackson leans forward, his gaze sharp, focused. "Your family's not as gone as you think, and neither are the people chasing you." Her breath catches. No. No, it can't be. Not here. Not now. She stands abruptly, but Jackson's voice stops her in her tracks. "You don't get to run anymore, Erica." His words pierce through her, and for the first time in a long time, she feels the cold grip of fear clench around her heart. "Sit down," he commands. And she does. Erica can feel the weight of Jackson's words pressing against her chest. His revelation. It's not just a threat. It's a reality. She sits frozen, her mind racing, trying to make sense of it all. His eyes, sharp and piercing, never leave hers as he waits for her response. Her heart pounds in her ears, and for a moment, the room feels smaller. The air thicker. The city sprawls beneath them, a sea of lights and noise, oblivious to the quiet storm gathering in this pristine office. "You think you can just walk away from all of it?" Jackson repeats, his voice steady, but the undertone of something darker lingering in the air. "You think you're safe here, but you're not, Erica." She struggles to control her breathing, fighting the rising panic inside her. She has to stay calm. She has to keep her head in the game. "How do you know all this?" she manages to ask, her voice quieter than she intended, betraying her unease. "Who else knows?" Jackson's lips curve slightly, but it's not a smile. It's a warning. "I've been watching you, not just because I'm interested in you, Erica. You've been on my radar for a long time. You've made enemies, dangerous ones. Your family's ties, they don't just disappear." Her stomach drops. The truth is uglier than she imagined. It's not just her family's legacy that's haunting her. It's her connections, her mistakes, that have brought her back into the web of danger. Erica leans back in her chair, trying to gather her thoughts, but the realization is overwhelming. He's right. She's never been safe. She never will be. The red dot at the gala flashes through her mind, the cold terror that gripped her as she saw that unmistakable mark, the sign of a threat, a warning, a message. "I told you," Jackson continues, his voice quieter now, almost gentle. "You're not as far from it as you think." Erica stands abruptly, her chair scraping against the floor. "What do you want from me?" Her voice is sharp, too sharp, but she can't control it. Jackson doesn't flinch. He stands up as well, slowly, almost as if savoring the tension in the air between them. "I want you to stop running, Erica." She takes a step back, her mind racing. "Stop running?" The words taste bitter. How can I stop running when everything I've worked for could crumble at any moment? "There's nowhere to hide anymore," Jackson says, his voice cold. "I'm giving you a choice. Work with me, and I'll protect you from your past. Or I let it come for you." The gravity of his words hits her like a slap. There's no escape. Not now. Not anymore. Later that night, Erica walks the empty streets of New York, her thoughts a tangled mess. She can't shake Jackson's words, can't ignore the undeniable truth. The past she's spent years burying is crawling back to the surface, and now it's threatening everything she's built. She pulls her coat tighter around her, the chill of the city biting through her skin, but it does nothing to cool the fire inside her. The man who just hours ago seemed like her ticket to a new life, her professional future, is now the reason her past is about to tear apart everything she's fought for. The lights of the city blur as her thoughts whirl. She never wanted to be dragged back into the mess her family created. But now she has no choice. Jackson has a hold on her, and as much as she hates to admit it, she needs him. Her phone buzzes in her pocket, breaking the silence of the night. She pulls it out, her breath catching as she sees the text. No number. "We know you're here, and we're coming for you." Her fingers tremble as she stares at the screen, the cold sensation creeping up her spine. The red dot, the warning. It's real. She quickly dials Jackson's number, her finger shaking as she presses the call button. It rings once, twice. On the third, he picks up. "Jackson," she says, her voice steady but her insides twisted. "What's happening? Who's after me?" There's a long pause on the other end of the line before Jackson responds, his voice quiet but firm. "I've been telling you this whole time, Erica. You're not just running from your family's past. You're running from something bigger." Her mind races, trying to make sense of the cryptic message. "What are you talking about?" "The people behind the red dot," Jackson says, his tone darkening. "They're not just your family's enemies. They're mine too. And they don't stop. Not until they have what they want." Her chest tightens. The words are a punch to the gut. "What do they want?" "You." Her breath catches in her throat. The weight of his words sinks in. She's not just being hunted for the secrets of her past. She's the target. "I'm coming to get you," Jackson says, his voice unwavering. "Stay inside. Don't trust anyone." The line goes dead before she can respond. She looks up at the towering buildings around her, the world spinning out of control. She's never felt more exposed, more vulnerable. She's standing on the edge of something she can't control, and she doesn't know if she's ready to face what's coming. But one thing is certain: she can't run anymore. The night stretches on, but sleep eludes Erica. She paces around her apartment, back and forth, her mind running 1,000,000 miles an hour. The weight of Jackson's words presses heavily on her chest, suffocating her with every passing second. "You're not just running from your family's past. You're running from something bigger." She sits at her desk, fingers hovering over her laptop, but the screen before her feels like a blur. Her phone buzzes again. Another text from an unknown number. She doesn't need to read it. She already knows what it says. "We know where you are." She stares at the message for a long moment before deleting it, her thumb trembling against the screen. She knows she's out of time. Her mind drifts back to the conversation with Jackson. The words "were coming for you" echo in her ears, repeating like a curse. She's not just a victim of her own family's mistakes. No. Someone has been watching her, pulling strings in the shadows, and the truth is worse than she imagined. She knows who's behind it. But the fear that has settled in her gut tells her it's more dangerous than she's prepared for. She swipes through her contacts, stopping at one name: Claudia, her mother's closest associate, the woman who's always been just a little too friendly, just a little too helpful, just a little too willing to step in when things went wrong. Claudia knows too much. She always has. Erica dials the number, waiting as it rings once, twice. "Erica?" Claudia's voice is warm, too warm, like nothing's ever changed. "What can I do for you, darling?" Erica forces a smile she doesn't feel. "We need to talk. It's about my father." There's a pause on the other end. It's the kind of silence that speaks volumes, one that tells Erica everything she needs to know. Claudia knows something, but she's hiding it. "I'm not sure that's a good idea," Claudia says slowly. "You should let sleeping dogs lie. There are things you're better off not knowing." Erica's blood runs cold. The message is clear. Claudia knows what's coming, and she's trying to protect herself. "You're wrong," Erica says, her voice hard. "I need answers. Now." The line goes quiet for a moment. Then, Claudia sighs. "Meet me tomorrow. Same place. You know where." Before Erica can respond, the line clicks off. Erica arrives at the cafe, a place she's met Claudia before. It's quiet, hidden behind thick curtains, offering the illusion of privacy amidst the bustling city. The waitress gives her a half-hearted smile as Erica takes a seat at the table in the corner. She looks around, instinctively scanning the room, waiting for Claudia to arrive. When she does, Claudia's smile is wide. But her eyes are calculating. She's always been good at hiding behind the mask of pleasantries. But today, Erica sees something different, a shadow in her eyes. "Erica, darling," Claudia coos as she sits down, sliding her coffee aside. "What's all this talk about needing answers?" "I know you're involved in all of this," Erica says, her voice steady but laced with tension. I need to know what's going on. Claudia laughs softly, a sharp, knowing sound that sends a shiver down Erica's spine. You think you can fix it, don't you? You think you can just walk back into this world and fix it all, like it never happened. Erica leans forward, her jaw clenched. Fix what, Claudia? What are you hiding? The silence that follows is thick. Claudia looks down, her fingers tracing the rim of her cup. When she looks back up, her expression is one of reluctant resignation. It's not just your family, Erica. You're not the only one they've been targeting. Jackson's in deeper than you realize. Erica's stomach drops. What do you mean? The reason he's so interested in you, Claudia says, her voice low, barely above a whisper, is because he's been protecting you from the people who want to destroy your family. And now, he's tangled in something bigger. The same people who ruined your family are coming for him, and they won't stop until they get what they want. Erica's head spins. Jackson. Protecting her? She thought she knew the man, thought she understood the game he was playing, but now she realizes how much she's missed, how much she's been blind to. Claudia, she begins, her voice shaky. What is it that they want? And how is Jackson involved? Claudia looks around, her eyes scanning the cafe like someone might overhear them. She leans in closer. Jackson is tangled up in the financial web your father left behind. But it's not just money they're after. They want power, control, and now they want to use you to get it. Erica's pulse quickens. How do you know all of this? She whispers, fear crawling up her spine. Claudia doesn't answer right away. She looks over Erica's shoulder, as if watching for someone. When she speaks, her voice is strained. I've been keeping an eye on you, Erica. You're not the only one who's running. But it's too late to stop it now. The cafe's warmth is a stark contrast to the cold knot tightening in Erica's stomach. She stares at Claudia, unable to process what she's just heard. The world outside the cafe seems to blur as her mind races, spinning out of control. Jackson's been protecting her? But why? The question hangs in the air, unanswered, and Erica can't shake the feeling that she's been played, a pawn in a much larger, much darker game than she ever realized. Claudia's eyes flicker with something almost like pity as she watches Erica struggle to digest the truth. I didn't want to be the one to tell you, she says softly. But you're too far in now. You need to understand who you're really dealing with. Erica's voice trembles as she responds. Who are they? What do they want with me? Claudia sighs, her gaze drifting past Erica as though watching shadows dance on the walls. It's not about you, Erica. Not really. It's about your father. What he left behind. His mistakes. They want to finish what he started. And they'll use anyone to do it. And right now, you're in the way. Erica leans back in her chair, her heart pounding in her chest. Her father's mistakes. She's spent so long trying to forget them, to escape them. And now they're pulling her back into the nightmare she thought she left behind. You said Jackson's involved, Erica says, her voice barely above a whisper. How? Claudia's lips curl into a tight smile, one that doesn't reach her eyes. Jackson's father and your father were business partners. They made deals in the shadows, deals that never went through. Your family's legacy is tied to all of it. Jackson got caught in the middle when things fell apart, and now he's trying to keep you safe. But that's not the end of it. There's a power struggle going on, Erica. People are dying over it. Erica's breath catches in her throat. Jackson's father, her father, connected. The dots are starting to connect, but the bigger picture is too much for her to comprehend. What do you want me to do, Claudia? Erica asks, the edge of desperation creeping into her tone. I can't keep running. I need to fix this. Claudia's face hardens, her eyes sharp. You can't fix this, Erica. You don't even know who's pulling the strings. But Jackson's playing a dangerous game. He thinks he's protecting you, but he's just as much in the crossfire as you are. He's not the hero you think he is. And if you keep following him, you'll both end up dead. Erica walks the streets of New York, her mind still reeling from the conversation with Claudia. The weight of everything that's been said feels like a physical presence, pushing down on her chest, choking her breath. Every turn she takes seems to lead her deeper into a labyrinth she doesn't understand, and she's not sure she ever will. The city lights flicker like distant stars as Erica makes her way to the one place she can't seem to escape, the office of Jackson Knight. As she approaches the building, her phone buzzes in her pocket. Unknown number flashes on the screen. She hesitates, then answers, her heartbeat quickening. Erica. Jackson's voice comes through, calm but carrying an undercurrent of something darker. We need to talk. Meet me at the office. Now. Erica's throat tightens. The last thing she wants is to be alone with him right now. But she knows she has no choice. He's the only one who knows what's going on. At Jackson's office. The door opens with a soft click, and Erica steps into Jackson's office, her heart pounding. The room is lit only by the dim glow of the city outside, casting long shadows across the sleek, minimalist space. Jackson stands by the window, staring out at the skyline, his back turned to her. You wanted to talk, Erica says, her voice sharp, more confident than she feels. Jackson doesn't turn, but she can feel the tension in his posture, the way his muscles are coiled, ready to spring. He doesn't speak right away, and the silence between them grows thicker with every passing second. Finally, he speaks. You're in danger, Erica. She laughs, bitterly, the sound echoing in the empty room. No kidding. I've known that for a while now. He turns slowly to face her, his expression unreadable. No, you don't understand. The people coming for you are connected to everything. Your family, my family. The deals we made in the shadows. They don't just want you gone. They want control. And they'll do whatever it takes to get it. Erica steps forward, her hands shaking at her sides. You knew all of this? And you didn't tell me? Her voice rises, filled with anger, betrayal. I was trying to protect you, Jackson says, his voice low. But I can't protect you from everything. Not anymore. The words hit her like a slap. So what? Now you want me to trust you? She spits, taking a step back. You're just like the rest of them, Jackson, using me to clean up your mess. I didn't use you, he says, stepping forward. I never wanted this. I wanted to keep you safe, but you were always in the middle of it. I should have told you everything from the beginning. Erica's chest tightens, the weight of his words settling like a stone in her stomach. She wants to scream, to tell him to stay out of her life, to walk away and never look back. But she knows the truth. She's too far gone now. She's tangled in this web, just as much as he is, and there's no escaping it. I don't know what to believe anymore, she whispers, tears threatening to spill over. I don't know who to trust. Jackson's gaze softens for the briefest of moments. Then he steps forward again, reaching for her hand. Trust me, Erica. I'm doing everything I can to protect you, but I need you to stay with me. Erica looks at his hand, the warmth of his touch drawing her in, but the doubt gnawing at her heart keeps her from reaching for him. I don't have a choice, do I? She asks, her voice barely above a whisper. Jackson doesn't answer immediately. Instead, he pulls her into his arms, holding her tightly, as though trying to shield her from everything that's coming. But Erica knows, nothing will stop what's coming. Not now. The silence in Jackson's office is deafening after the moment they shared, a fragile peace that feels like it could shatter at any second. Erica pulls away from him slowly, as though touching him might burn her. The room feels colder now, despite the heat of their proximity. She steps back, eyes never leaving his, trying to collect her thoughts, but they scatter like fragile glass. How did it come to this? Jackson watches her, his face unreadable, but there's something in his eyes. A flicker of regret, perhaps, or something darker. You don't trust me, he says quietly, his voice not accusing, but resigned. I don't know what to trust anymore. Erica answers sharply, her words sharper than she intended. Everything you've said, Jackson, everything you've done, it's all been a lie. His gaze hardens, the cool detachment creeping back into his features. I haven't lied to you. Not about everything. She meets his gaze head on. Then why didn't you tell me who was really after me? The words slip out before she can stop them. Why didn't you warn me about this world? Your world. Jackson flinches, just slightly, but enough for Erica to notice. He takes a deep breath, looking away for a moment, then steps back toward the window. You couldn't handle it, Erica. If you knew everything from the start, it would have destroyed you. Erica's chest tightens. You don't get to decide that for me. He turns back to her. His eyes are darker now, the weight of his secrets pressing down on him. You don't understand. I've been trying to protect you from this life, the one I was born into, but it's too late. Now you're part of it. The realization crashes over her like a tidal wave. She's already part of it. The tangled web of her family's past, Jackson's own entanglements, and the enemies closing in on them both. It's too far gone. She's in deeper than she ever thought possible. Before she can respond, the sound of a text message interrupts the tense moment. She pulls out her phone, her hands shaking. Unknown number. We know where you are. Get ready. Her blood runs cold. They're closer now. So much closer. She looks up at Jackson, who's already watching her. His face hardens, eyes narrowing. They're here. Erica swallows, fear creeping into her chest, but she forces it down. What do we do now? Jackson steps closer to her, his voice low but urgent. We fight. Erica sits on the edge of the bed in a luxury hotel room Jackson secured for them. It's more than just a room. It's their last line of defense. They've moved quickly, setting up a temporary base of operations in case the worst happens. Jackson's already on the phone with someone, his back to her as he speaks in clipped sentences. Erica runs a hand through her hair, her mind spinning. Why is this happening? She came to New York to start fresh, to leave the mistakes of her family behind. But now she's trapped in a web of power, betrayal, and lies. She stands, pacing the room, her eyes flickering over the opulent surroundings, but none of it brings her comfort. She wants answers. She needs to understand why Jackson's been so involved in her family's mess. He's not just a bystander in all of this. He's been part of it for far longer than she realized. She stops pacing, looking at him. He's finished his call and turns to face her. His expression is guarded, but there's something in the way he looks at her that speaks volumes. He's been hiding something. She can feel it. Who are you talking to? She asks, her voice sharp. Jackson hesitates, then sighs. Someone I trust. Someone who can help us figure out who's behind this. The people after you, Erica. They're not just rogue players. They're organized. They've been pulling strings for a long time. Erica narrows her eyes. How long have you known about them? Since the beginning. He admits, his tone low. Since the first time we met. Her mind races. So, this whole time, he's been involved? You knew about the danger. You knew what I was walking into. I didn't want you to get involved, Jackson says, frustration creeping into his voice. I tried to keep you away from all of this, but they're coming for you, Erica, and there's no more running. Erica feels her chest tighten. The walls are closing in. The very walls she thought were protecting her, Jackson's walls, are the ones trapping her in. What does he want from me? Her voice cracks, the weight of the truth crashing down on her. I thought you were protecting me. Jackson steps forward, his eyes darkening. I am. But Erica isn't convinced. She looks away, biting her lip. Why didn't you tell me everything? If we're in this together, why keep secrets? I didn't want to put you in more danger. I never wanted this for you. Erica shakes her head. You've already done that. The next morning, the morning light cuts through the heavy curtains, spilling across the hotel room in pale streams. Erica's eyes snap open, her mind still reeling from the night before. She feels like she hasn't slept in days. The weight of everything, the betrayal, the lies, the constant fear, presses on her chest like a stone. She gets up, slipping out of bed as quietly as possible. Jackson is still asleep, his face tense even in sleep. She looks at him, wondering how much of what he says is true. How much of it is just another lie. Her phone buzzes on the nightstand, pulling her from her thoughts. She picks it up and freezes. "We know what you're doing. You're running out of time." She drops the phone back onto the table, panic rising in her chest. They're getting closer. The door creaks open behind her. She spins around to see Jackson standing in the doorway, his expression grim. "It's time," he says. "We need to go. Now." Erica nods, her hands shaking as she grabs her jacket. She has no idea where they're going, but she knows one thing for sure. It's too late to back out now. Erica can barely keep up as Jackson leads the way through the narrow, dimly lit hallways of the hotel. She's been running on adrenaline for hours, her mind still reeling from the phone messages, the betrayal, and the constant feeling of being hunted. Her stomach churns with every step she takes. There's no going back now. Jackson doesn't speak as they reach the elevator, but his presence is palpable, pressing in on her from all sides. She can feel his tension, his calculated calm, and yet, she can't shake the feeling that this whole situation, this life, has always been one big lie. He might be trying to protect her, but Erica isn't sure anymore if she even wants that protection. She's tired of running, tired of being kept in the dark. As the elevator doors close, the sound of its descent fills the small space between them. The weight of the silence suffocates her. But it's not just the silence that's suffocating. It's the growing distance between them. She wants to shout at him, demand answers, but the words get caught in her throat. Finally, Jackson breaks the silence. "You're safe for now, but we need to move quickly." Erica turns to him, her face hardening. "Safe? You're telling me I'm safe?" She laughs bitterly. "I don't feel safe, Jackson. I don't even know what's going on anymore." Jackson's jaw tightens, his eyes flickering toward the elevator panel. "This is bigger than you think, Erica. I don't expect you to understand right now, but you will. We don't have the luxury of time." The elevator jerks to a stop, and Erica feels a rush of unease. She follows him out into the lobby, trying to ignore the pounding of her heart, the tightness in her chest. Jackson moves swiftly, pushing through the doors with an urgency that sets her nerves on edge. The night air outside is crisp, biting, and Erica pulls her coat tighter around herself as she hurries to keep up. The city streets stretch out before her like a maze, but she doesn't know where they're headed, or who might be waiting for them. Hours later, they finally arrive at a small, discreet apartment in a quiet part of the city. It's not much, just a plain door and a few steps up to the entrance, but it feels safer than anywhere else they've been. For the first time in hours, Erica can breathe a little easier, but the relief is fleeting. She knows this is temporary. The door closes behind them, and Jackson locks it with a soft click. "You can relax," he says, his tone less cold now but still guarded. He turns to face her, his eyes darker than usual. "I'll explain everything, but not here. Not yet." Erica's frustration boils over. She crosses her arms, glaring at him. "You keep saying that. Explain everything. But you haven't explained a damn thing, Jackson. You've kept me in the dark this whole time, and now you expect me to just sit here and wait." He runs a hand through his hair, his eyes softening slightly. "I'm trying to protect you. I know it doesn't feel like that. But you need to understand, there are things about my past that you don't know. Things I can't tell you all at once." "Then why bring me into this?" she snaps. "Why make me part of this insane game if you couldn't trust me enough to tell me the truth?" Jackson steps closer, his voice low. "Because I needed you to trust me, Erica. And I needed you to stay out of the line of fire. If I told you everything, you'd have run, and then they would have come for you. The people behind all of this, they don't care who you are. They don't care about your family. They want power, and they'll stop at nothing to get it." Erica swallows hard. "So, what now?" Jackson's eyes darken as he steps back, pacing the small room. "Now we wait for the right moment. We don't have much time before they come for us." The next day, Erica wakes up to the sound of her phone buzzing beside her. She groggily reaches for it, still half dazed from lack of sleep. As her eyes focus on the screen, she sees a message from Jackson. They're here. Her heart drops. She jumps out of bed, her mind racing as she gathers herself. She knows the threat is real now, closer than ever. The feeling of being hunted isn't just a metaphor anymore. It's a reality. She walks out into the living room to find Jackson already on the phone, speaking in rapid, hushed tones, his brow furrowed. As soon as he sees her, he ends the call and walks over. "They've found us," he says quietly, his face grim. "We don't have much time." Erica's stomach twists. She suddenly feels the weight of the situation in a way she hasn't before. This isn't just about her family's past anymore. They're coming for her, and they're coming for Jackson. "What's the plan?" she asks, her voice tight. "We're leaving," Jackson says simply. "Now." The air feels thick, suffocating as Jackson's warning sinks in. They're out of time. The city outside seems so distant, so indifferent, but inside this small apartment, it's a race against everything they've feared. Erica can feel it in her bones, the weight of the world crashing down on her. Jackson moves quickly, pulling a suitcase from the closet, tossing clothes and essentials inside. His movements are swift, efficient, like he's done this 100 times before. Erica watches, heart racing, every instinct telling her to run, to get out. But where? She doesn't know anymore. There's no place she can go to hide from what's coming. "I don't understand," she says, her voice quiet, strained. "You've been running from these people your whole life, and now you're dragging me into it? I'm not your pawn, Jackson." He doesn't look at her, but his jaw clenches, his eyes hardening. "This isn't about you being a pawn, Erica. It's about survival. I've made mistakes, too many of them. And now, it's come back for both of us. You are part of this now, whether you like it or not. And I'm trying to keep you alive." Erica steps forward, her hands trembling. "You think I don't know that? You think I don't feel it? I'm not the one who pulled you into this, but here I am, stuck between a past I can't escape and a future I don't want." She sees the flash of regret in his eyes, just for a moment, but it's enough. He takes a deep breath, his face softening. "I didn't ask for this either, but it's too late to back out now. They're already at our doorstep. We leave now, or they come for us." The words hit her like a punch. They come for us. The reality of it, the truth of it, finally sinks in. She's been running, trying to outrun this danger, but it's always been there, lurking in the shadows, waiting for her to slip up. She exhales slowly, feeling the weight of the decision hanging over her. She can't escape it. Not anymore. She nods, biting back the surge of panic threatening to rise in her chest. "Then let's go." Later. They're on the move. Fast, quiet. Jackson's driving, his expression grim, his hands tight on the wheel. Erica sits beside him, trying to focus on the road ahead, trying to push the dread that's building in her gut further down. The night is a blur. Lights flashing by, the hum of the car's engine. The constant fear of being followed. She turns to look at him. "Where are we going?" He doesn't answer immediately, his eyes flicking to her before he looks back to the road. "Somewhere safe. For now." For now. That's the part that sticks in her mind, the part that doesn't sound reassuring. She feels the walls closing in again. Every twist and turn in the city feels like another step deeper into a trap she can't get out of. The people after her don't care about her survival. They care about control, about power. And they won't stop until they've taken everything from her. The car slows down, and Jackson turns down a quiet street. Erica's heart skips a beat when she sees the familiar building in the distance. "Wait," she says, her voice tight with confusion. "We're going there?" Jackson pulls into an underground parking garage, the dim lights overhead flickering. "It's the safest place we have right now." Erica stares out the window, trying to make sense of it. She knows this place. It's one of Jackson's many safe houses, hidden in plain sight, but it's still a part of his world, a world she's not sure she belongs in anymore. Her thoughts swirl, but she doesn't protest. She follows him inside, where the silence is suffocating. The moment the door shuts behind them, Jackson turns to her, his face serious. "You need to stay here until we figure this out. I have contacts who can help, but it's going to take time, and we don't have much of it." Erica glances around the sparse apartment, her gaze landing on the walls that feel too close, too cold. "I'm not staying here alone," she says, her voice firm. "You're not getting rid of me that easily." Jackson hesitates, his brow furrowed. "I'm not trying to. But you don't understand. There's no way out of this unless we finish it. We're both in too deep." The tension in his words matches the tension in the room. She knows he's right. She's in this with him now, whether she likes it or not. But she also knows that Jackson's been hiding something from her, and she needs answers more than ever. The walls he's built between them are too high, and Erica's not sure she can trust him with her life. Again. The following hours feel like days. Erica paces the room, unable to sit still, unable to shake the feeling that something's about to break. Her phone buzzes again, and for a moment, she hesitates. The unknown number. She knows who it is. They're here. She picks up the phone with shaking hands, her heart racing as she presses it to her ear. "Hello?" Her voice is steady, but the fear behind it is palpable. The voice on the other end is low, distorted, almost mocking. "You're not safe there, Erica. You never were. And we'll find you. Soon." The line goes dead, leaving Erica with nothing but the deafening silence in the room and the gnawing certainty that the danger has only just begun. She turns to Jackson, but he's already looking at her, his expression dark. "We need to leave. Now." The apartment is cold, its stark minimalism offering little in the way of comfort. Erica sits on the edge of the couch, her knees drawn to her chest, staring out the small window at the city below. It's strange how quiet everything seems. The world outside is alive with noise, movement, life. But here, in this sterile, hidden space, everything feels frozen. Stuck. She knows it won't last. The calm never does. Her fingers trace the edge of the coffee table, the sleek, cold surface, as unyielding as the situation she's found herself in. Her mind is a whirlwind of thoughts, doubts, and fears, none of them making any sense. She looks up as Jackson walks through the door, his gaze immediately finding hers. His eyes, usually so confident, are shadowed with something she can't name. "Any news?" she asks, her voice breaking the heavy silence between them. Jackson shakes his head, running a hand through his dark hair, his face tight with frustration. "Nothing we don't already know. We're just waiting now." "Waiting for what?" Erica stands up, her movements sharp with impatience. "For them to show up? For them to come for us?" Jackson's jaw tightens, and he steps toward her, his voice low. "We need to be prepared for whatever happens next." She stares at him, her expression hardening. "Prepared for what? I'm already running out of time." Jackson lets out a sigh, his eyes flashing briefly with something unreadable. "You're not running, Erica. We're not running. We're fighting, and we'll do whatever it takes to end this." But even as he says it, Erica feels the doubt creep in. There's something in Jackson's voice, something about the way he says fighting, that doesn't sit right with her. Is this really a fight, or is it just another trap, another game? Later that evening, the apartment feels more oppressive with every passing minute, the walls closing in on Erica. She tries to keep her mind focused, but the weight of the situation is too much. They're trapped, and the worst part is, she doesn't even know who the enemy is anymore. A soft knock at the door jolts her from her thoughts. She's on her feet instantly, her heart racing in her chest. Jackson looks over at her, his expression unreadable, and motions for her to stay back. He moves to the door, his movements quick, decisive. Erica watches as he peeks through the peephole. A second later, the tension in his body relaxes, just slightly. "It's him," Jackson mutters, opening the door. A man steps inside, tall and wiry, his face familiar but cold. Someone Jackson's worked with in the past. His name is Simon, and he's one of Jackson's few trusted contacts. But Erica doesn't trust anyone anymore, not even Jackson. Simon doesn't waste time with pleasantries. He steps inside, his eyes flicking between Jackson and Erica as he pulls a folder from his jacket. He hands it to Jackson without a word. "This is the information you asked for," Simon says, his voice low. "But you're not going to like it." Jackson opens the folder, flipping through the papers inside. Erica watches his face carefully, searching for any sign of what's really going on. His expression tightens with each page he scans, and she can tell that whatever he's reading, it's bad. Worse than they'd anticipated. "I knew they were pulling strings," Jackson mutters under his breath. "But this is something else." Erica steps forward, her curiosity getting the better of her. "What's going on, Jackson? What's in there?" Jackson looks up, his eyes darker than before, and hands her the folder. "It's all connected. Your father, my father, the people pulling the strings. They've been planning this for years. They've been watching us, watching you." Her breath catches in her throat. "Who are they?" Simon speaks up, his voice flat. "The ones who never stop. The ones who get what they want, no matter the cost." Jackson looks over at Erica, his gaze heavy. "It's bigger than we thought. It's a network of power, control. They control everything." Erica looks down at the folder, the words on the paper swimming before her eyes. It's all there. The connections, the money laundering, the secret meetings. And at the center of it all, her father's legacy, the very thing she's tried to outrun. "Where do we go from here?" Erica asks, her voice tight with fear. "What's our next move?" Jackson stands up, his face hardening. "We go after them. We finish this." The next few hours pass in a blur. Jackson's plan is simple, but dangerous. It involves going directly into the heart of the operation, confronting the people who've been pulling the strings for years. But it's not just about taking them down. Jackson has other plans. He wants to expose everything. Everything. Erica's role is clear. She has to be part of it. Her father's ties, her own involvement, they're all part of this now. Jackson's plan isn't just about survival. It's about revenge. As they finish discussing the details, Erica can feel the weight of the decision settling on her shoulders. The fight is no longer about what's right or wrong. It's about who wins, and whether she's strong enough to survive the consequences. Jackson's eyes meet hers as he gathers his things. "We're leaving tonight. It's now or never." She nods, her heart pounding. "Let's do this." The night is colder than usual as Erica stands by the car, her breath visible in the chilly air. Jackson hasn't said much since they left the apartment. The silence between them is thick with anticipation, but also with something darker. The plan they've laid out is dangerous. Too dangerous. But there's no turning back now. They're headed toward a secluded mansion on the outskirts of the city, a place where the real power brokers gather in the shadows. This is where it all began. The place that holds the key to everything Erica's been running from. The mansion isn't just a symbol of power. It's a prison for all the secrets that have been buried under years of deceit. Jackson pulls up to the gate, his jaw clenched in concentration. "We're here," he mutters under his breath, almost to himself. He looks at Erica. His eyes dark and unreadable. "Stay close. Don't trust anyone here." Erica doesn't respond. She's too focused on the looming building in front of her, the walls of which seem to swallow up the weak light of the moon. How many people have been inside this house, hiding behind these walls, doing things they'll never speak of? She swallows, trying to push the nausea down. Tonight she finds out everything. Jackson leads the way, his steps sure and steady, as though he's done this countless times. She follows him, her footsteps muffled on the gravel. The mansion's front door opens before they can even knock, and a tall figure stands in the doorway, waiting for them. Jackson, the figure says, his voice deep and smooth, with a hint of amusement. It's been a long time. Erica barely recognizes the man in front of her. He's older than she expected, his features sharp and defined by time. He's dressed in a dark suit, his tie loose, as though he's more accustomed to power than he is to anything resembling comfort. This is Victor Hawk, the man who's been the architect of so many of the schemes Erica's family was involved in, the one who's been pulling strings from behind the curtain. "We need to talk," Jackson says, his voice steady, but Erica can hear the tension beneath it. Victor's lips curl into a smile that doesn't reach his eyes. "Of course. Come in." He steps aside, allowing them entry into the dimly lit mansion. The interior is exactly what Erica expected. Opulent, yet cold. The grand staircase leads up to unknown territories. The floors polished to perfection, every inch designed to intimidate. It feels like a place where everything is controlled, where every movement has meaning. Victor motions for them to follow him down a long hallway. As they walk, Erica's eyes scan the dark corners of the mansion, her senses heightened. There's something unsettling about the way Victor moves, how every room they pass seems to be empty, as if the mansion is a shell, and the people who live here are ghosts. She feels exposed in a way she's never felt before. Finally, they reach a large study at the end of the hall. The door opens with a soft click, and Erica steps inside, the weight of the air thick with expectation. Victor sits at the large desk in the center of the room, his hands folded in front of him. "Please, sit," he says, gesturing to the chairs in front of him. But Erica can feel the danger lurking beneath the surface. No one sits in this room without paying a price. Jackson sits first, his expression unreadable. Erica hesitates but takes a seat beside him. The silence stretches between them like a tightrope, and Erica's pulse quickens as she waits for Victor to speak. Victor looks at them, his eyes cold, calculating. "You think you're going to stop me, Jackson? You think you can change anything?" Jackson's eyes narrow. "This ends tonight." Victor chuckles softly, his lips curling. "You don't get it, do you? This was never about your little vendetta, Jackson. It's about something much bigger than you. Much bigger than your little crusade." Erica can feel the tension in the room shift. "What are you talking about?" she demands, her voice sharper than she intended. Victor turns to her, his gaze sharp, appraising. "I'm talking about the network, Erica. The one your family was so deeply involved in. It was never just business. Your father understood that. He understood the power in controlling the right people. And Jackson's father? He was always going to play both sides. He just made sure no one knew the full story." Jackson clenches his fists, his knuckles white. "Stop lying." Victor's expression remains unchanged. "I'm not lying. You know it. And you know why you're here. It's the same reason we're all here. To settle the score." The air between them thickens. Erica glances at Jackson, her eyes searching his face. He knows what this means. He knows exactly what Victor is saying. But Erica doesn't. Not yet. "You're not making any sense," Erica says, her voice tight with frustration. "Who are you? What do you want from us?" Victor stands, walking around the desk, his movements smooth and deliberate. "What I want is simple. Control. Power. And your father's connections were the key to it all. That's why we had to keep you involved, Erica. You were never meant to get away. You were always part of the game." Her head spins. The game. The one she's been running from. The one she's been trying to escape, only to realize she's been playing it all along. The room feels colder than it did just moments ago. The weight of Victor's words hangs heavily in the air between them. Erica tries to steady her breath, her thoughts racing, trying to process everything he's just said. Her father's connections, Jackson's father's double-dealing, the web of power, control, and betrayal that's tied them all together. Erica glances at Jackson, his jaw clenched. His eyes locked onto Victor as though he's trying to decide whether to fight or flee. But there's no room to run anymore. The truth is out, and everything they thought they knew is crumbling around them. She feels like she's drowning in it. Victor leans back against the desk, watching them with a cold amusement. His eyes flick to Erica, then back to Jackson. You really thought you could take me down? You think I don't know what you've been planning? Jackson's voice is low, controlled. This ends tonight, Victor. You don't get to play both sides anymore. Victor smiles, the kind of smile that doesn't reach his eyes. You still don't get it. It was never about sides. It was about control, power. Your families were just pawns in a much bigger game. Erica feels a chill run down her spine. What game, Victor? She asks, her voice tight. What game are you playing? Victor's gaze hardens, his smile fading. The game that decides who rules everything. The game where your father's empire and mine merge into something unstoppable. I've been setting this up for years, Erica. And you were always going to be part of it. You just didn't know it yet. Her chest tightens as she realizes the truth. Her father's legacy, the one she'd been trying to escape, was never truly gone. It was still here, in the shadows, waiting to consume everything she had left. Jackson stands up, the tension in his body palpable. I won't let you do this. We'll stop you. Victor's laughter echoes through the room, cold and mocking. You really think you can stop this now? It's too late for that. You're both in too deep. For a moment, the world feels like it's slowing down. Erica's mind races, her heart pounding in her chest as she processes what Victor is saying. It's too late. She's already been pulled into the game, whether she likes it or not. She can't escape it now, and neither can Jackson. Her gaze shifts to him, and in that moment she sees the weight of everything on his shoulders. He's not just trying to protect her, he's trying to protect himself. And maybe, just maybe, he's trying to save her from herself. Victor steps closer to them, his voice lowering. I gave you a choice, Jackson. And I'm giving you another, Erica. You can walk away from this, leave, and pretend none of it ever happened. Or you can join me. Take what's mine, and have everything you've ever wanted. Erica's stomach turns. Take what's mine. Jackson's hand clenches into a fist. I didn't come here to take anything from you. I came here to end it. Victor smiles, his eyes glinting. You'll never end it. Not unless you're willing to make the hard choice. The weight of his words sinks in. Erica's heart races as she feels the decision pressing on her. There's no escaping it. Not anymore. That choice is there left. Later that night. The tension is unbearable as Erica and Jackson sit across from each other, the weight of Victor's offer hanging between them like an unspoken promise. The room is dimly lit, the only sound the distant hum of the city outside. What did he mean by that? Erica asks, her voice breaking the silence. What does he want from us? Jackson's face is unreadable as he looks down at the floor, his fingers tapping rhythmically on the armrest of the chair. He wants us to join him, to take control. To use everything we have to keep his empire alive. And what do we do with that? What do we do with all of this? Erica asks, her voice rising in frustration. I can't just walk away from this, Jackson. You know that. My father's mistakes, his legacy, it's all tied to this. Jackson doesn't look at her, his eyes focused on something far away, something she can't reach. I know, he says quietly. But we can't let them win. We can't let them use us anymore. Erica's breath catches in her throat. But how? How do we stop them? How do we fight a war we didn't even know we were part of? Jackson stands up, walking toward the window. The city lights blur beneath them as he stares out, his back to her. I don't know, Erica. I really don't. But I'm not going down without a fight. Neither are you. Erica stands, her resolve hardening. She may not have all the answers, but she knows one thing. She's not going to be a pawn in this game anymore. She walks toward Jackson, her steps steady as she approaches him. When she reaches him, she speaks softly, her voice filled with determination. We finish this. Together. Jackson turns to her, his eyes meeting hers with a rare sense of understanding. Together. The tension in the room is thick, the air heavy with unspoken questions and an uncertainty that weighs on Erica's chest. Jackson stands by the window, his face illuminated by the city lights below, but his mind clearly somewhere else, somewhere far away. Erica can't help but watch him. The man who's become both her protector and her tormentor. After everything they've been through, the stakes have never felt higher. The war isn't just about survival anymore. It's about control. About choosing which side they'll fall on. And Erica knows deep down that no matter which side they choose, the consequences will be impossible to escape. She moves towards him slowly, her footsteps soft but deliberate, until she's standing just behind him, close enough to feel the heat radiating from his body. "We can't keep running, Jackson," she says, her voice quiet but resolute. "The decision's been made. We fight now, or we die trying." Jackson turns, his eyes locking onto hers with a look that's both pained and determined. "I know," he says, his voice almost a whisper. "I've been running my whole life, but I can't run anymore, not with you by my side." Her chest tightens, but she swallows the lump in her throat. "We don't have time for this. For doubt," she says, her voice unwavering now. "They're closing in on us. On everything we've built." Jackson steps closer to her, his gaze never leaving hers. "I'm not going to let them win, Erica. I won't." For a moment, they just stand there, the world outside slipping into quiet darkness. Erica's heart beats heavily in her chest, the rhythm of uncertainty mixing with the undeniable pull of the man standing before her. In this moment, she knows, this isn't just about survival anymore. It's about choosing to move forward, together, even if that means facing the worst of what's to come. Later that night, they drive through the city, the familiar streets now feeling foreign and dangerous. Erica can't shake the feeling that every turn, every red light, could be their last. She's on edge, her senses heightened, aware of every shadow, every face that passes by. Jackson's grip on the wheel is tight, his jaw set in a way that tells Erica he's already 5 steps ahead, planning their next move. She can feel the intensity in his silence, the weight of the decision he's carrying. "We don't have much time," Jackson says, his voice low. "Victor won't wait long before he moves on us. We need to hit him first." Erica nods, her eyes scanning the streets. "And what's our plan?" "Get in, get out," Jackson replies, his voice calm. "We take down his network, destroy his leverage. We leave him with nothing." It sounds simple when Jackson says it, but Erica knows better. Nothing's ever that simple. The web they're tangled in is far too complex. And the enemies they're facing? Far more dangerous than anything she's prepared for. Her fingers tighten around the seatbelt, her mind racing. "And if this doesn't work?" Jackson glances at her, his expression hardening. "It will, but if it doesn't, we fight anyway." She can feel the weight of his words, the finality in them. Fight anyway. They arrive at an abandoned warehouse just outside the city, the place where Victor's operation is believed to be based. It's dark, quiet, too quiet. Erica steps out of the car, her hand automatically reaching for the gun Jackson insisted she carry. There's no going back now. They've crossed the point of no return. Jackson leads the way, his movements fluid, practiced. He's been here before. He knows how to move in the shadows, how to blend into the night without a trace. But tonight feels different. It feels heavier. They both know this is their final stand. "Stay close," Jackson warns, his voice low as they approach the door. Erica doesn't respond. She just nods, her heart pounding in her chest. She's prepared for this. She has to be. The door creaks open, the darkness inside swallowing them whole. Jackson holds up his hand, signaling for Erica to wait. They stand there in silence for a moment, their breath shallow, listening for the sound of movement. And then, footsteps. A shadow moves at the far end of the warehouse. Erica's instincts kick in. She moves quickly, silently, staying just behind Jackson. Her heart is a drumbeat in her ears, her thoughts focused on the mission at hand. This is it, the moment they've been waiting for. They make their way through the dimly lit interior, every step calculated, every motion fluid. Jackson stops just ahead, signaling for Erica to take the left. He moves right. A sharp whisper breaks the silence. We've been waiting for you. Erica spins, her gun raised instinctively. But Jackson's already moving in, his face a mask of focus. The enemy is close, too close. The warehouse is suddenly filled with voices, the sound of men emerging from the shadows. Jackson is already in motion, taking them down with practiced efficiency. Erica doesn't hesitate. She fires at the first man who steps into her line of sight. The shot is clean, precise. But as they clear the room, something doesn't feel right. Erica's gut tightens. This is too easy, too quiet. And then she sees him. Victor Hawk, stepping out from the shadows, his hands raised in mock surrender. You think this ends with you, Jackson? You think you can just waltz in here and tear down everything I've built? Jackson's face is unreadable, his grip on the gun steady. It ends tonight, Victor. You don't get to control us anymore. Victor laughs, low and dark. You think you can take me down? You're too late. This isn't about you, Jackson. This is about power, and I always win. The tension in the room spikes. Erica's breath catches in her throat. She knows this moment is critical. If they don't act now, they'll be caught in Victor's web forever. Jackson moves first. The shot rings out, sharp and final. Victor Hawk falls to the ground with a thud, his eyes wide with surprise. The warehouse falls silent. The battle is over. But the war is far from won. With Victor down, what happens next? Will Erica and Jackson escape the chaos? Or is this just the beginning of a much larger fight? You won't want to miss what happens next. Hit that subscribe button and let me know what you think will happen in the comments below. Was this the right move for Erica and Jackson, or is there more to come? Drop your predictions and tell me where you're watching from.